All right, welcome Ron Futrell here, Liberty.com, the website, of course, and we're with Michael Johns, who has a great, distinguished career, certainly in politics, Bush 41, in that White House. You were a speechwriter with that administration. Also Heritage Foundation, which I don't know where we'd be without the Heritage Foundation and some of the information that they put out. And now you've been a leader, certainly, in the Tea Party movement. The Tea Party movement, where's that headed? There's been a lot said about it, a lot written about it. What's the future?
Well, I think that the movement, it really is the most exciting political development of our lifetimes, and probably undeniably one of the most important and exciting in the country's history. It has galvanized literally tens of millions of Americans to become engaged in the political process. And most of these people, the vast, vast majority of them, have sort of watched politics and public policy from the sidelines for many years, and now look at the course of this Congress, this administration, and feel absolutely compelled to get engaged in the process. And so it's a movement, in my view, of historical significance.
The media seems to want to, and pop culture wants to try to destroy this medium, which to me says it's arrived if it's that big of a target.
I think it's a phenomenon that is not completely understood in all corners. I think it's very difficult for those that maybe have an antithetical ideological vision to realize how threatened the American people feel by the direction of this country and these policies. So for those people, I think they've tried to explain away the movement in a whole bunch of various ways. None of them have worked. They kind of disparaged the movement a little bit. They neglected it for a while. They diminished it. They tried to talk about it being, kind of just a Republican offshoot. It's quite abundant for anyone who's really on the ground watching this movement and is engaged in it, that the level of dynamism and excitement is real, and the concerns and fears are real. And it's a movement of just serious business. I mean, it's all about changing the direction of the country.
Does this movement need a leader? Does it have to have that? I know some people have said, well, the Constitution, certainly, the founding documents is what we refer to as the leader in the Tea Party movement, is what I've heard a lot. Does it need, though, a body, a person, a figure, head?
My view is, if you've taken the initiative to get engaged in the Tea Party movement, you already are a Tea Party leader. That said, I mean, obviously there's all sorts of challenges that we're facing, within the movement and its maturation and growth and development that have to be addressed. So, it's an issue where you want to see people step up their levels of engagement and become more and more involved. And you want to see organizations like Liberty.com, especially, which is a great group here in Las Vegas, succeed. And so I think there is a demand for that.
How have candidates reacted for the most part? Republican, if you will, moderate candidates. Some have had a difficult time, obviously, and getting knocked out. Bob Bennett in Utah, Mike Castle in Delaware, others, Murkowski up in Alaska, have gotten the boot because they haven't latched on to Tea Party ideals. Is that presenting a bit of a dilemma?
I think probably there's been a lot of underestimation of the political value and the political significance of the movement and its ability to impact the outcome of elections when it makes the decision to become committed. So, if you look at those three particular cases, all of those were very esteemed establishment political figures with long-standing careers. I think they probably underestimated the political power of the movement, and they did that to their detriment. And they did not have a message that sought to appeal or appease the sentiments of the Tea Party movement. I think that was a tactical mistake on their part.
There seems to be a lot of obviously distrust towards President Obama and his administration right now. Tea Party sees that as antithetical to our founding values and principles. Obama promised transparency. We haven't seen much of that, though, in his administration. Have we, on everything from where he was born to what he's doing now in the administration?
Right. I mean, the process that they have taken as it relates to legislation is always to huddle behind closed doors in the West Wing, to collaborate only with their far left allies in Congress, and to put forward legislation that can never have enough time to be dissected, analyzed, understood, debated, amended, and to ram through these packages with huge amounts of urgency, presenting the argument that if it's not passed yesterday, Western civilization will collapse.
That's right.
And as
Nancy
Nancy Pelosi, argued, we need to pass the legislation to understand what's in it. And I think the American people, just as they view this, understand that while this process clearly does predate this president, it's been amplified and accelerated considerably under this administration to the point of outright political arrogance. And there's a level of, I think, political elitism, detachment from the people, we know better, we're going to tell you how to live your lives mentality that runs contradictory to the founding principles of the country and the principles that have made us the most successful country in the history of the world.